It's 2023, and the capabilities of what we can do as photographers is unreal. I don't even know if I like it.
I think it's safe to say that photography has been ruined in 2023. But let me explain. I've been taking photos for a couple of years now, and I've started to notice some things that have completely been ruining the photography space and hobby as we know it. I mean, this art form has been losing its meaning as the years go on from people not taking it seriously enough, and that needs to change. One of the huge things that has started playing a role in this is the presence of social media like Instagram and TikTok over the past few years. With these new huge social media platforms like TikTok, yes, there are a lot of new artists and photographers joining the hobby, but their perspective on the art form is completely different than before. Photography has stopped being predominantly a form of self-expression or showing a deeper meaning on something, and more of a means of validation or likes on these social media platforms. So whatever they see that's working on there, they're gonna try to replicate and do the same thing for this validation. And this essentially has gone around in a circle with a new trend arising, and then every social media photographer trying to replicate that trend, trying to hop on this trend. And where's the originality in that? Art is so subjective, so you should stop listening to success from Instagram or social media platforms and more to your heart on like what images actually genuinely move you or give you a deeper meaning. Don't even get me started on these street photography videos I've been seeing on various platforms. The art of street photography is a beautiful thing because when you get a good image, you get a feeling that you're in the right moments at the right time. But people trying to pump out this type of art, it's creating for a community that is really photographing for views instead of photographing to photograph. I personally think it's starting to create some pretty boring images, and I've seen a bunch of actually like pretty large photography YouTubers making these street photography videos, and I feel like if we want street photography to hold its value and intent, it needs to stop. A very interesting topic that I came to about pretty recently actually, about last year, is shooting vertically versus horizontally. With social media and Instagram comes the heavy use of vertical imagery because that's what looks good on the platform on your phone. Up until recently, I had only been shooting vertical because of this reason, for shooting for social media. And recently I switched to trying horizontally, and it has completely changed the way I take photographs. I mean, I can't believe how much I was missing before when I was just shooting vertical. Although shooting vertically is necessary in some situations, I really haven't seen a reason to not shoot horizontal only. I mean, first of all, you can get more information in each image, and also if you really need or want to crop it to make it look good on Instagram, you can crop from horizontal to vertical, and your image will still be pretty sharp too. But you can't do that the other way around. After trying to shoot horizontally for the first time, I have never looked back and would definitely recommend it to anyone who hasn't really been shooting horizontal at all. Sometimes it's better for you and your photography to not just shoot vertically for likes, but really focus on the meaning behind the photograph. And I think shooting horizontally helps you focus in on that meaning more. Get the voice out of your head that says you must shoot vertically. There's been something coming into the world of photography and other digital things, and that's the use of AI. I don't think it's super bad right now with photography, but I think the future could definitely pose a threat for photography if AI is still in it. It's not too bad right now with photography, but there's definitely an issue that I see in the future in terms of photography and the use of AI with it. And it's an issue I want to talk about. Wait, before I continue talking about AI, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel. It would mean so much, and I would love to grow this younger photography community on YouTube, and you can help me do that. And like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Okay, thank you so much. Back to AI. AI has gotten so advanced in terms of editing photos on like Photoshop beta and using generative fill, and it's kind of scary because it's gotten to a point where sometimes it's very unrecognizable what is fake and what isn't from the image. I mean, look at this video that Peter McKinnon recently released about this topic. He took a basic image that he photographed of this shed, and after making edits on it using generative fill, it got to the point where I couldn't even tell that the edited version was edited. I mean, check this out. I don't know if the edits fooled you, but they definitely did to me, and that scares me. I know that AI will never fully take over the art of photography, but for how advanced it's getting, it's starting to get easier for everyone to fake their images, and I'm worried for how that's going to translate into the future. With Photoshop Beta, you can really select any area on your image and type in anything you want and it'll generate. It's not the best in some situations right now, but of course it's going to improve over time. Another thing that has been on my mind recently as I've been experimenting with Polaroid and film photography is the new cameras that are coming out these days. They're going for the utmost speed and are able to take images, like thousands of images a minute, like my digital camera that's recording this video. And I think it's ruining the art of actually having to step back and compose an image and really think about it before you take the photo. With a film camera, as some of you may know, you can only get about 24 to 36 shots per roll, and each roll is like $10 to $20. So really every shot counts. The thing with these digital cameras these days is the idea that every shot counts really doesn't mean anything anymore. Every shot doesn't count now. Digital shooters will shoot thousands of variations of an image and have little tiny variations of them to have the perfect image, and I don't think that's the best way to go about photographing. I don't think that's the true form of it. The slowed down approach to film photography really makes me feel more connected to the subject that I'm photographing, and it personally makes it more enjoyable and I think deeper with meaning. Don't get me wrong, in some situations I absolutely do love shooting bursts on my camera, but in terms of making this hobby last, I don't think it's necessarily the best approach to go about for in the future, and that worries me. So what can we do to change things? Well, I'm not sure we will ever be able to. Technology is going so far forwards and really leaving the true form of photography and meaning behind. I would totally recommend just being more aware as you shoot as a digital shooter and just taking a step back before you shoot and just really thinking about your shots more thoroughly. And if you aren't already, I would recommend to anyone to shoot in manual mode on your digital camera to just get that added control over your images. An even more important idea to me is the meaning behind the images. I got a shock this summer when I realized that a meaning behind the image wasn't my primary focus over technical perfection on the image, and that's why I think everyone should take a step back and think, why am I taking this shot? And what are my motivations for it? Is it for validation online or a deeper emotional meaning? Only you guys can help save this art form, and all I ask is that you're aware of the technology you're using and how it's maybe affecting the art form, and just be aware of it for the future. I love you. Keep shooting, and let me know in the comments if you feel the same way that I do about this. See ya.